Oh my gosh, I have a marketing strategy for wedding photographers that I am dying to talk about. Nobody's talking about this. So if you are a wedding photographer relying on Instagram to book clients and you're secretly craving something a little bit more stable, this might completely change how you think about marketing. That sounds dramatic, but it's so true. So let's get into it. So I have found that most photographers, they're trying to get seen when couples are ready to inquire, right? So this is when they're reaching out to maybe 5-10 photographers because they're in the mode to find a photographer. But couples are deep in planning mode long before they ever look at photographers. And if you show up there, you are no longer competing. And that, my friend, is what changes everything. Hi, I'm Rochelle, and this is part 1 of a short series where I'm breaking down how venue blogs help you show up earlier in the planning process so booking feels way easier. So first, let's talk about how couples actually plan weddings, because once you understand the timeline, this strategy makes so much sense, and then it's like a no-brainer. You have to do it. So when couples get engaged, one of the very first big decisions that they make is the venue. They need the location, they need the date, they need to know the guest count. They have to have that locked in before they can book almost anything else, because everything else has to revolve around that. So instead of waiting for them to Google wedding photographer, we show up when they're Googling the venue. And we do that by creating a detailed blog post about that specific venue. But the key shift here is that you're not writing a recap blog. I see this all the time. I blog for a lot of photographers myself. I do a lot of SEO refreshes on people's websites. And that's what I see all the time is they're trying to recap the day specific to that couple that was there. But we don't want to do that because that's not helpful for our future clients. We are going to create a guide with this. It's a resource for future clients that are researching this specific venue. So it's going to answer things that these couples are already searching for. So things like, what does the venue look like in different seasons? What is the best ceremony lighting? What's the reception layout? These are things that you as a photographer are basically an expert in because you're constantly looking at these things when you're shooting, right? And again, this research is happening months before they're comparing photographers. So when you show up during that phase, you're not fighting competitors anymore. You are building trust. And that trust is what is going to convert. So if you want to start implementing this right away, I created a free venue blog photo guide, and it shows you exactly what to capture on a wedding day so you can actually make this strategy work. I'll have it linked below, because what you photograph does directly impact whether this works or it doesn't. But okay, we're just scratching the surface with this strategy. Let's go a bit deeper. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is where a lot of photographers get stuck, and it's that they're relying on social media only. But what we have to talk about is that when you are relying on social media, you are essentially building your business on borrowed land, because you don't own the platform, you don't control the algorithm, and your content lifespan is typically 24 hours, something like that. And we all know that new social medias are popping up all the time. So where you're spending all of your time, specifically Instagram right now, one day that might not be there, and then you're kind of starting over. The blog post on your own website, now that is owned visibility. It lives on your own domain. It works long term. It doesn't get buried when the algorithm shifts. It's like having a full-time marketer just working in the background 24/7 for you. And the best part is that that is going to compound. So one blog post turns into 5 blog posts turns into 15. And now you're showing up for multiple venue searches in your area. And that is stability for your business. Okay, let's shift gears, because there's another really important thing that we have to discuss. And that is the fact that social media is passive. So when people come on social media, they are scrolling to be entertained, to zone out, kill time. And that is considered cold attention. So just think about your own use with social media. Are you going there to research and look up things? Or is it just like when you're in the grocery line and you're trying to just do something to fill the time? You're not really in buy mode trying to actively do something. But Google and even AI search now, that is active. People are going to these platforms looking to get something out of it. They are researching, they are comparing, they are making decisions. And that is warm intent. And warm intent converts way differently than someone that's on social media just passively scrolling. So with a venue blog strategy, you create content that lives long-term on a platform you own. You get in front of couples who are actively planning, and they find you long before they ever start comparing photographers. That positioning is so powerful. Okay, let's get a bit more into why a venue blog strategy works so well. So Google's job is very simple. Provide the best Answer: possible. So when someone types in a venue name, they want helpful information, they want real guidance, they want specific details, and yes, they want photos. So you see where I'm going with this? You already have that. You've photographed there, you've seen the lighting, you understand the ceremony flow, you know what works. You are an expert and the best person for an engaged couple to talk to when they are researching this. So when you share that knowledge, you stop being just another photographer. You become this trusted resource, and you're building that trust way early, which is going to make those inquiries warmer later on. So today we covered why venue blogs help you get found earlier and why that visibility is something you actually own, which is so important. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly what photos to capture on a wedding day so that way your blogs actually rank, because not all gallery images help SEO. That's very important to understand, and that's where most photographers get this wrong. So if you want to know what photos actually help move the needle, watch the next video in the series. And if this was helpful, comment venue below so I know you're following along with this strategy, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the rest of the series. Bye.